week, and we're discussing Qarabag, the Azerbaijan team versus Newcastle United. And with me to discuss that is Mustafa. My name is Afolabi. This looks like a David versus Goliath. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, David versus Goliath in Baku. This is actually in Baku.
Yeah.
Okay, so Qarabag play a sort of a. They sit back a little bit, but what they like to do, they play a high line actually, and they press, and they try to get the ball and do a counter. Newcastle has changed their style of play. Newcastle plays a mid-block, very well structured, tracks the ball, which is okay. But the problem with Newcastle is that if they lose possession of the ball, they're so narrow that a team that can use his wings can counterattack on them, which is what Qarabag will look to do. But I think Newcastle has such a high quality compared to Qarabag in midfield and in shape. Newcastle keeps its shape beautifully and everything, so that Qarabag will not have that many opportunities to overload. And Qarabag likes to overload. They like to bring their left wing and invert him to the middle, and bring their right wing and even bring him more right and bring a wing back on the right. They try to overload the right side. So since Newcastle plays so centrally and that narrow, that's a danger for them, but they control the ball. So that's why I'm going to predict that this game is going to be Newcastle on the road winning 2-1. But I think they're going to win this series. When it goes back to Newcastle, they'll win easily. But I think that Newcastle's quality, like Newcastle is Goliath and Qarabag is David. But David has an extra slingshot. He's using his slingshots on the wings. You get what I'm saying? So this is the type of game where Newcastle should win. But they need to be careful because they play a central positioning and very narrow rigid. They're a little bit like Arsenal, very rigid type of style of play. But whereas if Qarabag can try to go around on the wings and overload, they may confuse Newcastle. But I think Newcastle's quality will be too much. And I'm going to have them, either this game will be a draw 1-1 or Newcastle winning 2-1 on the road. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Qarabag won't be too adventurous. They'll try and sit in a very organized, compact shape and invite Newcastle to commit. If Newcastle commits, then they will now look for opportunities to press and break. But unlike most teams that play the pressing game, what Qarabag does is that when they press and they are unable to collect the ball and the opposition plays through their press, they quickly settle back into a defensive shape instead of trying to win the ball back. So it's more like safety first for Qarabag. But like you said, Newcastle might get themselves very narrow and then give Qarabag space on the flanks to counter on them. And in terms of player quality, Newcastle has a lot of very good players in their midfield. They have Bruno Guimaraes, they have Joel Linton, Sandro Tonali, and up front they have a 6'6" striker in Nick Voltemada. So I think Newcastle are going to mix it up. They are not going to play too many short passes. They're going to be sending long balls into the box too. And with a 6'6" striker engaging your center backs, it's going to be difficult for Qarabag also to defend against.
Yeah,
them. And like you said, it's going to be a narrow victory on the road for Newcastle.
Yeah, Kule, what are your thoughts? And another thing, Kule, Newcastle is well coached, so he knows that Qarabag is going to try to overload to the right flank, and he's going to have an answer for that. What do you think, Kule?
Yeah, Kule.
Yeah, sorry. I'm the babysitter today. My wife has gone out.
Yeah, so Newcastle is playing Qarabag. So we know that Newcastle should be favored to win this, but they're on the road against Qarabag. Newcastle plays a very tight mid-block, like 4-3-2-1. Qarabag tries to overload on the right. But I think the Newcastle, because of their coaching and their very good spacing and form, should be able to deal with it. But I see them having a narrow victory in Turkey. I mean, not in Turkey, in Azerbaijan against Qarabag. What do you think?
Yeah. Newcastle have been really having some real issues with form in the Premiership of late. Yeah. Really recovered from losing their striker to Liverpool. That was not even
Isak. Isak. I feel like not even Isak. Isak.
But I still think that they should have enough with Jeff. They still have Jeff Gordon and I think is it Calvert? It's not Calvert. Is it Callum Wilson or Calvert-Lewin? Is it one of them that plays for Newcastle?
Andrew Gordon.
Got it.
Yeah, Jeff. Is it?
And they have a 6'6" center forward. 6'6" center forward.
Yeah. So I think they Gutierrez. Is Gutierrez still fit?
No, Gutierrez is not fit anymore.
Okay, but I think that
yeah.
no matter what, they still have their formation, which is very efficient, which actually made Isak look better than he is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
Take down a team from Azerbaijan,
Yeah.
Premier League team. Even a mid Premier League team should be able to take such a team down, even in a point of crisis. And I think that the coach
on the road in Baku.
Yeah, the coach has been quite good. He's been quite good over the years, but he has been struggling. And I don't know whether he can use his job because Newcastle has a lot of money. That's what people don't know. Newcastle has the kind of money that Manchester City has.
Yeah.
But because they're not able to build up the following, they can't make use of that money because of the rules of PFA and FFP. So if he cannot maintain it, I think that if he doesn't survive, if he loses this game, it's going to be a nail in the coffin. He might not.
They're going to sack him if he loses this game. They'll fire him.
But Kule, we have to remember this is 2 legs. So even if he loses the first leg and then they win on the second leg,
home leg. They will win the home leg for sure.
Yeah. So they need to win this. They need to win this face off and qualify to the next round. Let's keep our fingers crossed because I like Newcastle. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Falabi, before we head out?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, Newcastle's quality is head and shoulders above Qarabag. And Nick Voltimada, the 6'6" striker that they just bought, I think it was from Germany, is a handful on his day. If you get good crosses into the box, he will engage any center back. And they're going to mix that up with a lot of running and short passing. So I think over the 2 legs, Newcastle should win comfortably.
Yeah, and I think they'll draw or win first leg. Draw or win first leg,
yeah.
I bet them. All right, Kule, take us out. It's over. Saturday, I will drink tonight too.
As we fear for the English Premier League as they continue on the campaign of the Champions League, and Afolabi and Mustafa. And also in respect to the Formula One, as we look at the Red Bulls and the Mercedes, I forgot to mention them. But despite all of those mentionings now, I shall say from myself, Afolabi and Mustafa, bid you good night, farewell, adieu. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Nice one, though.